Hello, hello.
Um, let's just make sure that we're live over there on YouTube. For anybody just joining us now, let's see. Just waiting for that to come through. Um, Not there yet. Oh, there we are. There we go. We're live over on YouTube. You know, uh,
Nice.
10, 15-second delay. It's
Oh, nice.
crazy. We're in the 21st century.
I
It's
know.
wild.
Come on, internet, keep up. With real time.
I know. I was just on my phone. Do you ever know the Mirage model? Have you ever heard
No.
of that one? I think it was a video to video model. I remember a way back. It's called Mirage. I think Captions also has a Mirage model on
Mm.
that app. But I was on my phone and it was just pretty much like filters. But it was funny. I was just like, hey, they can if they could like generate me in real time. Come
Hmm.
on, we get to go over to YouTube in real time. So.
Oh, like they stylized the video.
Yeah,
And
but it just felt like filters, honestly, like Snapchat filters. But like, I guess it wasn't because you can just type and say, "Hey, I want to look like an ogre" or something, and it'll just video real time, like FaceTime
yeah. Yeah,
filters.
I mean, I feel like this tech's been around for a while, but I haven't quite seen models, do it recently. So,
Yeah, maybe we
interesting.
should do. I wonder if they do it on Riverside here, because for everybody watching, like we do this on Riverside, and they have this post processing step where you can animate your shorts, like as a baby or like a whatever. And it'd be sick to do that live.
Yeah.
Imagine if we're just sitting here like two like babies or anime
We could just
characters.
come with our own mascots. That would be cool. Just be bears or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Happy Wednesday, Franny. Nice to see you. Um, Yeah, I have to
Happy
see if
Wednesday.
Noel's out here and Steve. I have to get your guys' customer stories out sometime today, maybe, or one of yours. Um, but yeah, so, well, how's your week going so far?
It's good. It's a shorter week here in the US for us because of Labor Day. So
Right.
it was fun. This I know we're working on big things. Big, very huge, you know,
Very big.
very big. Very
Very exciting.
important.
Yeah, last week was cool. I mean, like we rolled out the Horizon video model, and I know for some of you, it might have changed some of your voices, and if you reached out, um, you can change the model back to the classic model, so that should be all resolved for anybody there. And
Yeah.
then, um, yeah, the voice model, I think overall, I mean, I'd like to hear everybody's opinions
Yeah, please
in the
drop it in
chat.
the chat. Like,
Yeah,
let us know, like, how you
good,
felt, like,
bad,
what you liked, what you hated about it.
scale of 1 to 10. Um, Yeah. Hello from the All Ears on You team in Germany. Hey.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Nice.
Hello. And then hello, Jelly Potters, Michael.
That's a cool
Yes.
name, actually.
Jelly Potters. All
Tupac
Ears on
fans
You.
taking it.
Yeah. Big is good. Big is great. There we go. This audio effects with Horizon. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to know. Like, just if you're willing to share, just put like either a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, one being the worst. You hate it absolutely. You're going to leave Jellypod and you're never going to come back, and you hate us both personally because of how bad Horizon was. And 10 is like you'll invite us to your wedding. Um, Anywhere in between, any feedback that you have, just uh, just put it in the chat. It would be super helpful for us.
Yeah.
Um, I was pretty impressed. I mean, I was creating some podcasts. One of the things that we were discussing, I know, Bilal, was like making some internal podcasts ourselves just to showcase, the best of the best. Some domains where either we're personally interested in. We haven't gotten to this yet, really, because there's a lot of stuff on our plates everywhere, and this actually could take some time. I'm always blown away. I mean, I was talking to somebody on support the other day, and I look at their session replay because they're having some issues, and like, multiple hours. A lot of you spend a lot of time on there, and it's really cool because it's like it's a creative process, and you're in there and you're making tweaks. You're spending 1 2 hours. Hopefully, we can get that down. But like,
Mm.
if it's 1 or 2 hours and you're spending to create this like awesome podcast, it's pretty cool to see that you're investing that time into the platform and into the what we're doing, and you like it enough to invest that time because we know time is tough. So Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just getting it more streamlined and stuff. But same time, hopefully you're liking these changes as well, and it's making life better for you. Um, what was the podcast you created?
Oh, what was I creating? I was creating some test ones. I always test with like it's really funny. I throw in admin documents from Jellypod, like random things from like our like one time I made a podcast about like our articles of incorporation. And it was really interesting. And then
Mm,
it was like
nice,
discussing like, oh, it's really like, like Delaware and there and it was
nice.
just like really funny to see them just discuss about like a really boring thing. Um, but that was funny. And, yeah,
Yeah, I
so
mean, it's. I feel like Horizon definitely opens up more interesting possibilities. Like I was doing more expressive stuff, like like almost like a singing voice or something, etc. So
right.
it really like made me think about like some interesting artistic like type of art forms I could do, and not just like this is the topic and you're talking about it, but like in what way you're talking about it, like almost like making shows out of it. So that was
Totally.
pretty cool. Yeah, and yeah, I know somebody made a comment about the clone retraining. I think that's one thing I saw too. If you I think it is worth the effort if you have an instant clone to try again. It's a I mean the older clone hopefully should work, but you can like mix match different samples and stuff, and sometimes you get way better output. So.
So does the cloning impact like the actual creation of the clone get impacted with Horizon, or is it like when we use the clone in a podcast, that's when it gets impacted? Like, what should people know about clones and like the new model?
Yeah, I mean the clones should be backward compatible, so I think they should just work. But if you have a clone that you cloned like 6 months ago or something, it's sometimes good. I mean, I think in general, like it's worth trying. I wouldn't delete the clone, and I would just like create another one and mix it up, and you might be surprised at the output at the range. You can get. So this is different than professional voice clones, which are I mean, you obviously hopefully have the full range captured in a professional voice clone. But instant voice clones are easy enough to try fiddle with. I think.
Right. Right, totally. Yeah, no, it's super cool. It's exciting. That was a big change. This September will be some big changes. We have some things planned for hopefully by the end of the month. I think that's I think a decent timeline. Give us enough time, but don't hold our, don't take our word. Um, we might delay. It might come out a little bit earlier, but some big stuff coming up there. Some
Yeah.
improvements on the admin side, bug fixes across the board. Um, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's things that like I wish AI was good enough to like really just take everything that everybody says and just like AI go implement these things.
Oh,
It's still like some
definitely.
thoughts.
It's like it's funny when like you have to do something like I'm working on this feature which requires I feel like a lot of thought, relatively more thought than your typical feature, and I've actually had to think about it, and then there's like muscle. I'm like, oh wow, shit. I actually have
Right?
to really think through this now. It's like, it it can
Yeah.
like be extra worrisome. There actually is an article that came out just today, which I mean kind of tracks. It's just basically how students who used AI, they're cognitive. They had a little bit of cognitive decline, which I mean, I can see. I mean, in some ways, right? I mean, if you're obviously not coding the way you used to, where you're thinking through every line of code, I mean, obviously that's a muscle you're going to lose a bit. So hopefully you're gaining in other areas. I think in terms of like abstract reasoning and stuff. So that's why I think it's important to always be in the know of what's going on, and not just like press enter and hope for the best. But yeah, it is something like when you have to do it. Like I know you're working on something very complicated as well, so I'm sure it like makes your brain go like, oh shit, this muscle, yeah, gonna use it.
Yeah. It's just yeah, totally. Like building, like right now I'm debugging some stuff that's just been environment issues, and I'm like, it's really frustrating. Like, what, AI can't solve it for me. I have to go think again.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, a lot of big stuff coming out. What some of the things I think. So last week we talked about Horizon. We talked also about
The
what
guest
was it?
host or the extra host you added per episode.
Oh
Hopefully
yeah,
people
the
are
Hess host
using
per
that.
episode. Yeah, or anybody, I'm curious, has anybody added a guest host to like a one-off episode? So changing, like how's changing your hosts per episode been? Like, has anyone tried it? Um, or, it doesn't matter to them. Curious if anyone's liking that feature, or it doesn't matter. Let me know in the chat.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's like a great, easy way to add more stuff, and kind of comes back to the Horizon model. One thing, like I didn't talk about, but apart from cloning, we have voice design, which is like you can just like create a voice based on like text. And I found with the new model, like you can definitely like create some very interesting voices. Like I created a cowboy voice with like like a very what do you call it, like very distinctive like drawl and stuff, and I feel like that can come through a lot like with the backstory, so you can create some interesting characters and then pull them in into the
Right,
episode just to add some color to it. It's very cool.
right,
It's
right.
almost like an SNL type of skit thing. You can do pause
Yeah,
20. Oh. Oh,
it's
I've never
interesting.
tried pause. That's interesting.
Did
I
that
wonder if it
work?
just creates empty like a silence or something.
Yeah, no, did the pause work like well? Like, did it actually give you a 20-second pause there? Like for everybody watching, this is if you like I know if we mentioned this last week and we said don't rely on this feature at all. It's not supported, but it might work if you put instructions in a bracket in your script. It might do the thing you're asking for. So if you say laugh or like a sound effect in those brackets, it might do it. So if you're here, you get the tip that it might work. Don't message us if it's not working, it's not supported, but you might get some mixed results doing that. And eventually it'll work, but
Yeah.
interesting, right?
Yeah, for pauses, I think no, you can try dot 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 like ellipses. I found that to work better, especially between words.
Right. Yeah, and cool. The hosts changes, awesome. That's great. Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I want to just like for anybody out there, if it's your first time, I think everybody here, at least I'm assuming a lot of people here, know us and what this is for. But um, if you want to showcase what you're creating and drop it in the chat, like you drop your podcast, do it. The chat will go. It'll become the chat on the YouTube live. So maybe people who watch the recap will see it. And ask us questions. This is like the time here where hopefully we can build this community with you all and just and get your feedback on everything that's happening. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. So I got random sound effects at times, even music. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's something people ask for. Adding a music generator at in the intro, outro music. There's so many things I think we're laying the foundation for.
Oh yeah.
That's like we have a foundation. It's just like
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
do the thing. Like we're just like, oh, add the music generation. Just like when you click the intro, outro music button, instead of popping up the native file upload dialog, it's like file upload dialog, but also prompt, and you just
Mhm.
talk about what the sound effect, what the intro music should sound like, and then you do it. It's just yeah. So it's fun.
Nice. Yeah. No, excited for some of the stuff that's coming on the horizon. It's on the
All right. Yes,
horizon.
that's
Fun
really
stuff.
fun. Check out the Small
So,
Business Cybersecurity Guy Pod. Yes.
all right. Yeah,
Um,
please.
and we'll link that in the case study.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Feel free, anyone in the chat, please drop your podcast. We're always interested to see what you guys been cooking.
right. Yeah, and if anybody that's watching this ever wants to do a customer story, um, let me know. Reach out. We will give you credits for your time. It'll be like 20. It's just usually 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, um, and we just have a meet. I'll have a conversation with you. Just you sharing what you're creating with Jellypod, how it's helping you, what you've liked, and everything, and then we post it on our website, and it's like literally on our homepage. So if you're curious, just go to jellypod.ai or jellypod.com. It redirects, but um, just scroll down to the bottom and you'll see these customer stories, which are pretty cool. Um, and they're interesting to read. And you can watch the whole interview too. So, yeah,
Yep.
come join if you'd like. Cool. Well, um, yeah, I think Michael brought up a good question here. This is something that we've heard of. Um, I think this is on the roadmap. It's tracked. It's something that we're looking into, but no immediate plans right here. So what Michael was asking about was different languages of the same podcast. It's really interesting. We're going to need a lot of feedback around this and how people would like this to work because right now there's not really a thing like in podcasting. You have two people hop into a podcast, like a human podcast. Two people sit down in a room, they record themselves talking, and then they post that on Spotify or whatever. You're starting to see them translate it, like Lex Friedman, Joe Rogan. I think they're starting to translate their podcasts into other languages, but they don't put them on the same channel. So it's like they have the Lex Friedman Spanish channel, they have the Lex Friedman normal English channel, and that type of model to me makes the most sense because if you're a Spanish speaker or you're a French speaker, you don't want that podcast to be polluted with another language. So, for example, if you get a notification on Spotify, hey, new episode's out, you wouldn't want to see new English episode, Spanish episode, French episode, Mandarin episode, Italian episode, and so it's like it makes sense that they're different podcast series. However, that's probably what I think most people won't want. They kind of want like, hey, I have this podcast, and whatever language I want that pod to listen to that podcast in, it should just like I can just drop down, change it. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts don't have that support. YouTube doesn't really have that type of support. Um, so it's interesting. Um, there's something that maybe we could do on our website side where it's like you have multiple versions, and
Yeah.
that becomes a better place to listen to Jellypod podcasts because we support that versus Spotify and Apple who don't. But then there's also still the same problems. So Michael, I would love to think about like how you would use um, multilingual podcasts, and because right now it's just like you have to create a new podcast,
Yeah,
copy
or
over
change
the.
the language setting. And I'm curious, like, because I always forget, it's just if you change the English script, like if you have a script and it's in English and you change it to Spanish, would you just get really good Spanish, or our voice model also takes a language parameter? I'm trying to think,
It
and
just
that's
takes a
important.
script. It's just a script.
Okay,
So
so
you
I
have
mean,
to
you
regenerate the
can. I
script.
mean, it's a hack, but you can kind of copy, import a Spanish script over on top of it and stuff. But that's
Yeah, you have to translate it,
it's hacky, I guess. But yeah.
right? Because you'd have to have like for everybody out there, like this is like how we think about problems. I mean, you have your English version of your script, and most people, speak English. That are all of you speak English here that are on the chat, but other people don't. But there has to be a source, so there'd have to be a source language, and then you derive the translations from that source generation because you want to make sure that every version in different languages is just a translated version of that source episode. So
Yeah. So I
yeah,
wonder maybe that's the thing. We just added a translation option which just translates the script. Then you can regenerate the audio. I don't know.
yeah, because then the regeneration, you have to regenerate the audio as well. Um, but yeah, so Michael, to answer your question, this is something we've thought about. It's not heavily requested. It's important. The use cases here are limited just because there haven't been as many requests, but maybe we're just wrong on that. I have seen a lot of people like educational podcasts in Europe where they're creating English, German, and like Italian. I think one of them was. But
Yeah.
yeah, people are kind of hacking it together right now. So that's kind of our recommendation for the moment. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the translation would be not be I mean, it's a proxy. So I agree with you. There was a comment about you would want something, from scratch because yeah, there are nuances to every language that won't be captured. So yeah,
Right.
definitely agree with that.
So, and yeah, it'd be interesting because the backstories go into. So it's like if you had your cowboy character that you designed,
Right, right, yeah,
howdy partner, but that's in Mandarin. So you have a Mandarin cowboy. That'd be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
I wonder what it would be like. How do you do like a Southern American cowboy accent, but speaking different language?
Oh, that would be interesting. I didn't think we'd like have a cowboy talk in like Spanish or whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right. It's always interesting when you clone your own voice and then you hear yourself speak of the language you don't speak. So if you ever
Mm.
try this, like clone your voice and then create a podcast in a different language that you don't speak, and
Hmm.
you're like, whoa, that's me, but it's not me because I don't know how to speak that language. It's
Yeah.
always funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like the inputs. I did this fun experiment where I I took a song and I made that as an input to the voice cloning, and the way the host sounded was like, oh, welcome to the podcast. It was just like a very sing song,
Oh, that's funny.
and it's like I wish. So yeah, you can make characters out of it. I feel like it's all. I feel like and maybe I'm projecting here, but I do feel like a lot of people they they just think of the like, oh, I can clone this voice or I can this sounds like a good voice, but instead of just thinking of it as a person, you should think of it as a character. You can think of it like having any type of character you want. You can in your show. You're producing a show. You're putting on a play, and you're like, what kind of character do I want? And then reverse engineer the voice that would go with that character. It's like so.
Totally. That was cool when I was doing like the voice design stuff the first time. So it was like making a witch or
Hmm.
an ogre or a troll, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's funny.
Oh yeah, definitely want to use the sound effects. This is why I was excited about this model. Like you can add like stuff like the witch cackles and stuff like that,
Mm,
and really make a very interesting story. Like when I was a
right.
kid, I used to listen to these audiobooks. I don't know if that was the thing here, but like that was like we would like put on cassette tapes. I'm dating myself, but we had cassettes. We would put them on and just
Yeah,
like listen to stories about Red Riding Hood and the
right.
werewolf. Whatever.
Oh, totally, totally. That's super interesting. Yeah, oh, Noel, this is funny. Yeah, we'll talk about this on the customer story, but Noel created a LinkedIn profile for one of
Nice.
his hosts on his podcast, and
Oh,
one of
that's
the
awesome.
hosts keeps getting job offers. That's funny. So
Yeah, that's actually very smart. Just great, become thought leaders. Using your host. Why not?
yeah, it's so funny. But well, sweet. Um, yeah, if anyone has any other questions, we usually do this for like 30 minutes. I know we're at like 10:25.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll stay on for 5 more minutes if we want to, if there's any other questions or comments. But if not, we'll probably just like hop off. We know we do this every Wednesday, so a chance to talk about what we're working on. We're working on some big things, so I know we didn't have as much to talk about today on terms of new features, but we've seen a lot of success in Horizon. That's been awesome. Um, some complicated stuff coming down the pipeline, which would be really cool. And we'll just keep giving updates every Wednesday about like what we're working on. And if you want to hear more of us, we have Creative Flux on Fridays. So Creative Flux is a podcast where we actually dive into the world of AI, specifically around media, like audio, image, video, music, all of that. So if you want to stay up to date in like the cutting edge of what's happening in this world, take a look at Creative Flux on Spotify, creativefluxpodcast.com, Creative Flux on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. It's a real podcast between me and Bilal, not an AI one. So it's actually us. You'll see our faces just like this. But yeah, so check it
Yet. Who
out.
knows?
Yet.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we'll keep you all up to date. Um,
Yep. Yeah. Thank you
and
for joining. As always, it's fun.
thanks for joining as
See you
always.
guys.
And yeah, we'll see you all. What do you use to create your YouTube shorts? Like we use this Riverside. It's pretty
Riverside.
solid. So We just reuse this and it clips us up for us. And it's
And
easy.
hopefully Jellypod in the future.
Yeah, hopefully Jellypod in the future. So, sweet. Okay, well, we'll end it here a little early, but we'll talk to everybody next Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
See you all.